Hey guys, Roman Reaper here. So today I finished Season 4 of Invincible on Prime Video. This is based on the comic book by Robert Kirkman, who of course once again is involved with the creation of the show. And look, at this point it's no secret that I absolutely love this show. It's just such a great show. And anytime a new season comes around, look, I'm happily there, and this one is no exception. Looking to bring more of the crazy action spectacle and star-studded voice cast of previous seasons, but also, looking to up the stakes a bit. So, of course, yes, I was really excited to see what crazy direction the show takes next. But does the show keep up its hot streak of quality while also upping the stakes? Let's find out. So in the season, Mark Grayson is still grappling with the messy consequences of his battle with Conquest, as it begins to affect him psychologically, making him question whether he is the hero he once thought he was, as his methods begin to become more extreme in order to get the job done no matter what. But he soon finds himself having to step up once more as Invincible, when he learns that a war is coming between the coalition of planets and the Viltrum Empire, one where he is a more useful asset than he once thought, as his Viltrumite genes become a vital part in helping to wipe out the Empire once and for all. So in an age where seasons of television will have gaps of 2 or sometimes even more years, looking at your Stranger Things, it's nice that Invincible has managed to get that down to gaps of 1 year, so we can still get seasons of it regularly and consistently. And, as it turns out, we can get that without losing the quality either, because this was yet another great season of the show. So something I really enjoyed about this season were the character arcs and very much how they built on where season 3 left off, particularly Mark. His whole arc here is really compelling stuff. Very much him still grappling with the quite messy consequences of his battle with Conquest at the end of last season. A battle that obviously, as you remember, left Eve in the hospital. And so very much now he's not pulling his punches as much as a hero, and very much go into more extreme measures to get the job done and save the day so that others he loves don't get hurt as well. It's really interesting stuff, and it's quite compelling to see him sort of question himself whether he still thinks he is a hero because of this. It's great stuff, and Stephen Yeun's voice acting, once again, is great. He really sells Mark's inner turmoil and psychological anguish. And I very much enjoyed his relationships with other characters, particularly with Eve, as his relationship with her gets deeper and they sort of move it forward to new directions. And again, Gillian Jacobs is great in the role once more. I also quite enjoyed Debbie and Paul and sort of their relationship moving forward as well. And of course, Sandra Oh and Cliff Curtis are great and very likable in these roles. I also enjoyed Oliver as he sort of finally has to confront the fact that he is indeed a son of Omni-Man and what that actually means. And speaking of Omni-Man, Nolan's arc. Oh boy, this was a really interesting one. It's a very much a sort of long, rocky road to redemption, and sort of very much a quite, pained and anguished man, sort of trying to atone for his past actions and the hurt it left in its wake. And J.K. Simmons, once again, just absolutely crushes it. Yeah, he's an absolute goat, and this just continues to reaffirm that. So yeah, the characterization here, really interesting, and does deliver some quite poignant and hard-hitting moments. There are also some great moments of comedy as well, particularly from Alan, once again voiced by Seth Rogen. And I quite enjoyed his new little dynamic with the character of Zoe, aka Tech Jacket, voiced by Zoe Deutsch. Their little pairing was quite funny and did lead to some great moments. I can only hope that we will get more of it in the next season. But of course, the absolute highlight of the show, once again, has to be the action. It's great, great stuff. You know, we get a lot of really exciting action spectacle here. Particularly a scene early on in which Mark fights a guy who shapeshifts into a dinosaur. Which obviously, you know, very much it fits with his sort of more psychological arc of this season. We also have another great battle with the Sequids. Yep, they're back. And yeah, it leads to some great character moments from the consequences of it. Of course, these moments are incredibly well animated. I mean, the action here is incredibly fluid, it is brutal, and hits hard. It is so well done. And in general, the animation here is solid. I know it's kind of the butt of many jokes at this point about looking cheap, you know, comments about it, you know, being JPEGs moving across the screen. At this point, I'm kind of used to it. Sure, those moments at times do look kind of cheap, but for the most part, it is solidly done. We do get some really, really well animated moments here that do look beautiful, but it really locks in when it's time for an action scene, because, yeah, you can tell they put most of their animation budget into those scenes, because, yeah, it just, you know, comes into another level, just incredibly fluid and fast-paced. It is great, great stuff. Now, this season isn't without its issues. There's one particular episode called Herm that, while certainly an interesting one for Mark's arc of the season, and also kind of an entertaining episode in its own right, kind of feels like a weird detour from the overarching story of the season, and feels like it's almost better suited to being a sort of standalone special episode, like they did that Adam Eve special back when season 2 came out. So it kind of sticks out as being a bit out of place with the rest of the season, but my god, it sets the table for an absolutely crazy second half that gives us everything that the whole show has been building to. The beginning of the war between the coalition of planets and the Viltrum Empire. And my god, when this season gets to its second half, it just locks the fuck in big time. And it is just an absolute ride with such insane, epic scale action spectacle that is impactful, brutal, bloody, hard-hitting, and delivers some real shocking moments that had my jaw on the floor. It is nuts. And of course, we have our new villain of the season, Thrag, voiced by Lee Pace. And they do a really great job of building him up as this threatening, powerful villain. You know, they give him a real aura throughout the season. And I will say, Lee Pace does a great job. He's a character who obviously looks and sounds threatening without having to try too hard to look and sound threatening. And Pace is just absolutely perfect for that. He really carries such a level of presence and menace. And when he gets to shine in the action, there's an almost throwaway line in the one episode about, yeah, he lives up to the hype. Turns out he absolutely does. He is, oh boy, when you get to see him in action, my god, it is incredible. In general, the whole second half of this season is incredible. An absolutely crazy ride. Yeah, you very much will have you on the edge of your seat. And I gotta say, the finale was quite an interesting one as well. Obviously, after the crazy spectacle of the episodes preceding it, this is a much slower, more character-driven one. And that might disappoint some people, but it's a really interesting character-focused look at, the sort of human scale effect this kind of massive war has, and yet it is absolutely devastating and hits really, really hard with some quite poignant scenes. Yeah, so it's a shift in direction that really, really worked for me. And my god, that ending, that reveal, absolutely insane. Yeah, and I, for one, cannot wait to see the season 5 that comes from it. And hey, if we're getting these on consistent schedule, yeah, roll on next year. Overall, Invincible Season 4 is yet another great season of the show, delivering compelling, hard-hitting character arcs, fluid, fast-paced action, and plenty of shocking moments and insane spectacle. Out of 10, Invincible Season 4 gets a 9. So, let me know down in the comments, have you seen Invincible Season 4? What did you think of it? What did you think of the show's second half? What did you make of that ending reveal? Are you excited for the next season and how it will build from that? And are you a comic reader? Definitely like to hear that perspective. Let me know all that down in the comments. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.